Hi, I'm Ashley Lauren Spencer. I am the owner of the Autistic Innovator, which is an online store for autistic adults. And today, let's talk about stims. Let's talk about the more natural stims that we may not realize are stims. So the first type of stim we have is body stims. This is more like we might rub our skin, we might pick. I tend to scratch my chest when I'm feeling kind of stressful and I don't realize that I'm doing it when I'm stressed. My skin will be really red and I'll look in the mirror and be like, do I have a rash? Is that hives or did I like pick at my chest again? Usually it's at me scratching. You may also rub your nose, so do this, or nose picking is also a stim. That might be something we do very often, or like the sensory feeling is kind of, we might be overwhelmed by it, so that might result in that type of stim. Cracking joints, cracking your fingers or your toes. My ankle tends to crack a lot, so I tend to pop my ankle a bit when I'm stimming. You may rub your hands together, doing something like this. Pulling on or twirling your hair can also be a stim. So you may kind of do this a bit or just may fidget with it, may do this with your hair. Okay, so let's talk about the next one. Clothing stims. If you have a hooded shirt on and you're zipping and unzipping the zipper a lot, that is also a stim that we may just kind of like fidget with it. We like the sound, we like the feeling of doing it. It's kind of like a repetitive motion. You may also bite on your sleeves, kind of like chew on your clothing, or lift your collar. You may chew on your collar of your shirt. You may like just kind of bite and chew on the little hoodie strings also, that you might kind of have those in your mouth. I know I do that a lot. You could also adjust your clothing. So you may kind of like fidget with your pants, pull your pants in different directions, move your sleeves down, move them up and down your arm. We may kind of fidget with what we have available, which is the clothing that we're wearing. Next, let's talk about food and drink stims. Now, we may have a sensory pleasure that we get from eating and drinking. We may eat something that is the same type of food. We may eat crunchy stuff or sweet stuff, or like maybe spicy foods. I tend to eat a lot of sweet things and I drink a lot of sweet things. So eating and drinking can also be a stim. Drinking sweet drinks is pretty much my biggest stim, which has caused me a few problems that I'm trying to lessen it, but it happens. You may enjoy the emotions of eating or the motions of drinking, especially if it's carbonated. Carbonated drinks are like my biggest stim. If I'll drink, instead of just still water, I drink sparkling flavored water, because that's really the only thing that I get more of a stim out of. There are other stims that we may have that we don't realize are stims. Things like having our mobile device and playing a mobile game, kind of scrolling our phone. We may be on social media, especially like TikTok or YouTube. That can also be a stim. Singing can also be a stim. So if you walk around and you're kind of singing to yourself, or you've got a song stuck in your head and you're singing it, singing can also be a stim. Typing on computers can also be a stim. This is actually one of mine where I'm usually typing on my laptop or something. Both of my hands have to be busy because I'm ambidextrous, so both of my hands are dominant. I have to channel that into something. So usually using a mouse or typing on the keyboard at the same time, or holding my phone and scrolling. Those types of things are part of my stims that keep my hands busy, because if they're not busy, then I start scratching. Or picking at my collarbone, which are two things that I try to lessen, but it happens subconsciously. Like I can't seem to stop myself, so it's just sort of whatever. Talking to yourself can also be a stim. So if you walk around and you're having conversations with yourself or talking out loud, I know sometimes talking to yourself helps you sort through your thoughts and emotions. That's one of the reasons I do audio journaling. When I do audio journaling, I sort of just ramble to myself and record myself talking, and I tend to work through a lot of things through that. But that's also a stim. And if you like journaling and you like talking to yourself, I highly recommend audio journaling. All right, that's it. Those are the 4 different types of stims that we may do without realizing it. I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe and like this video.